WIBTA If I go on a trip that my cousin organized on the same day of my father's wedding with the woman he started dating 2 weeks later of my mother's death? My 18F father is going to marry his girlfriend next week, a day before my cousin's 21F birthday. My mother died 4 years ago, and almost 2 weeks later, I don't think it was even 2 weeks after that, my father was dating with that woman. I was grieving and I had to tolerate a total stranger in the house. My father told me that he met that woman at work. The doubt that she has always been my father's mistress is always in my head, but I don't know, I don't like her anyways. My cousin organized a trip to the beach, which will last a week. It was given to her by my aunt and uncle because she won a scholarship overseas in a college. My aunt and uncle won't go to the wedding. Some of my other cousins won't go to the wedding to go to the trip too. My cousin arranged the trip entirely on purpose to ruin my father's wedding since my mother was her godmother. My father was mad at her, but my cousin told him that she's not going to cancel her trip for a second wedding, or in her literal words by text, "I'm much more interested in seeing the grass grow than in your wedding." Today my father found out that I will be going to the trip too, and he's totally mad at me. He even cried telling me that everyone is punishing him for finding love. I asked him if my mother wasn't the love of his life then, and he kept crying saying that I don't understand because I'm too young. He says that every time I try to talk about something serious with him, even when I want to talk about politics or important things, it's his way of shutting me up, and he just finally found love, his words. He said his girlfriend is the real love of his life. Good for him, I guess. My mother always said he was the love of her life until the last day, and because of his words my mother was never the love of his life. I think I feel sad to think about how my mother would feel if she hear my father say that he finally found real love when in my mother's eyes and words he was her soulmate. Can you really find the love of your life in 2 weeks? I understand that grief is different for everyone, but who grieves spending Christmas with your new girlfriend and not with your daughter who lost her mother? He neglected me since that. Even if I was a teen, everything was always about how he feels and wants. I told him that I will go on the trip and I don't want to attend his wedding, and he kept crying. My paternal grandmother called me to pray and tell me that I am being unfair to my father who just found love again, but I just don't want to go, neither be near to him. I stopped being close to my dad long time ago. That my perception of what a father figure is has been almost totally erased from my mind. Edit. My parents didn't had an open marriage or anything like that. My mother wouldn't have thought twice before divorcing him if he hinted something like that, because she was always a 100% traditional woman in relationships matters. I remember her disgust about those topics, haha. My mother always made it clear that she would divorce if she thought the marriage was bad. She was always totally open with me about those issues, even personal matters, as we had too much trust in each other, so I'm sure that in her eyes, she had a healthy and normal marriage. We were all shocked with the fact that my father introduced his girlfriend when we were all grieving. It's something no one understands to this day.